All right, we are live. I think we're live. Let me see. Is that screen going to change over? I'm pretty sure it is. There we go. Yes. All right, let's just make sure everything's working. Hey, welcome, YouTube. Haven't seen you guys in a little while. Hope everything's going well. I'm going to pull up the chat over here. Oh, wait. Where's that chat? Here we go. All right. This is test one thing. Test 1, 2, 3. Everything working? So far, I think it is. Yes, it is. Awesome. Well, hey, welcome, everyone that's here. Hey, James, good to see you, man. I'm assuming you guys can hear my voice okay. How about the bass? Is the bass coming through? First time playing today. You know, I was having trouble with this second. Yeah, it's still freaking out. That's a bummer. See, it keeps blanking on me. That's a pain. That's okay. James is doing good over here in the UK. Excellent. Bass is good. Genre Torres. Hey, how's it going? Man. Jared. Hey, Jared, good to see you, man. Good to see you on this platform. I've been only doing my live streams at Twitch for the longest time. And it's good to come back over here to good old YouTube. And we're also using a P-Bass. Two things I normally don't do. Stream on YouTube and play with the precision. But it's good. It's good to change things up. Hey, as you guys are coming in, please do me a favor. Introduce yourselves. Tell me your name. Tell me where you're from. And here's what we're doing today. We are hanging out together, and we are exploring this. Actually, I'll come over to this angle. It'll be easier for you guys to see it. This is something from Phil Jones Bass. Let's change the focus a little bit. There we go. It's called a Big Head Pro. It's a HA-2. I guess that's the technical name for it. But it's a headphone amp. It's an audio interface. It does a bunch of things. It's got a 2-band EQ. And I don't know, we're just going to check it out together. I got my friend Mike over here from Phil Jones Bass. He's going to answer some questions for us, and we're just going to, dive in and check it out, see what it does. Who we got here? Jared, Gene. Sorry, I thought that said Genre Torres. Gene, hey, good to see you. Leo, bass sounds dope. Thank you. Brooklyn, New York. Leo coming at us from Long Beach. Hey, how you doing over there in California, man? Everything all right? Fires not getting too close to you? I'm pretty sure they've mostly just been Northern California, but I ask because that's where I'm from. I'm from LA. Only been here in Vegas. I keep saying we just moved here, but that was January, and now it's September. Oh. I love Justin Melda Johnson. Something about playing a precision bass. It's like coming home, you know? Always sits comfortable. It's perfect. All right, cool. Hey, let's just dive in. Everyone say hello to my friend Mike. And as you guys are coming in, Mike, you're coming through now. Let's just dive in. Everyone say hello. Wait a minute. Somebody's got his audio on, and it's me. And we were just hearing myself, talking to myself. Mike, I don't think it was your fault. Hold on. Let's see. Mike is still there? Oh, wait, hold on. I don't have you.
Can you hear me?
Yes, I hear you now. Excellent.
Okay.
Technology. It's a wonderful thing. Isn't it amazing? I keep thinking like, man, this is so crazy that we're able to do all this. You are in New York right now, right? Or East Coast somewhere over there?
New Jersey. I'm right outside of New York City.
Yeah. It's crazy. I do I'll be doing it tonight actually. I do a live recording session, songwriting session with my friend in Sydney, Australia.
Wow.
And so he tells me what to do, and then I do it. But it's kind of weird. He's not like it's kind of like he conducts me in a sense, where he'll be like, okay, so you're walking down the street and like an airplane comes crashing down and crashes in front of you, and I'm like, all right, that sounds kind of like, I try to interpret what he's saying with keyboards and with different instruments and whatnot. It's a fun thing. Hey, chat, as we're hanging out, do me a favor, just say hi, tell me your name, tell me where you're from, and if you have any questions about any of the stuff that we're doing today or anything in general, let's try to keep the subject matter to the Big Head Pro. But after a while, I mean, yeah, anything you want to know about bass, music, anything at all. We're here hanging and just having a good time with my good friend Mike from Phil Jones Bass. Mike, what do you do over there? What's your job? What's your title?
I'm the product specialist for Phil Jones Bass.
Product specialist. So that means
Yeah.
like you're the guy who knows everything. When I'm like, hey, what's this button do? You're the one who put it there, basically?
I'm not of course, Phil is the engineer and the head designer. He takes input from everybody. Everybody, has sort of like we all have ideas, but Phil is the mastermind behind everything pretty much. Yeah.
Nice. Of course he is. I like that. Sweet, dude. Okay, so before I dive into this thing, this Big Head Pro, and it's sitting right here in front of me. Anything you want to tell me about it before we kind of dive in?
Well, it's a really great device. It's a headphone booster. It's a headphone amp. It's a digital interface. It's also a preamp. So it's a lot of great things all rolled into one. And for today's working bass player, the guy who's on the run, whether you're doing practicing by yourself, or you do some recording or that sort of thing, or you go to a club and you don't have your own rig there, you could bring you bring the Big Head Pro with you, and bam, you have your sound in a little box. Everything is sort of like completely transparent, like most of our stuff. It's the sound of your bass. And it also got a lithium battery in it, so it recharges, so you don't have to go out and buy batteries and that sort of thing. So it's a great piece to have, and that's
cool.
Basically,
all right.
Yeah.
Well, hey, chat, as we're hanging out here, Mike, I'm going to put you on mute for a second. No, actually, I'm going to leave you on because I'll probably come back to you in a second. Okay. Chat, if you have any questions about what we're doing or what any of the buttons do or whatever, go ahead, shout at us. I'm looking at you right now. I can see Leo's on there, Gene's on there, Jared. So yeah, any questions? Feel free, stop us, and I'll look over there and I'll get back at you. So first of all, I'd like to say I already unboxed it technically because as I started looking at it, I saw that it has a USB port for charging. So it is a wireless device. Obviously, you can leave it plugged in and it'll charge the battery. But as soon as I saw like, oh shit, I should probably charge it up so that it doesn't die on us, or I didn't know if it came charged already. It did. Mike, do you know if it was a full battery when it came to me, or do they ship fully charged?
It should be fully charged right from the right out of the box.
Right.
I mean,
either way, I wasn't positive. I wasn't positive, so I did open it already. So this isn't a technical unboxing, but let's just go ahead and do it. So right off the bat, cool looking packaging. We've got shows you what the EQ curves are doing. It's 2-band, bass and treble. Looks like the biggest boost is around 60, and then again around 5K, 6K, something like that. So pretty common. Cut and boost. Packaging is pretty sleek. I'm not gonna lie. This is something I noticed started to happen. Apple like really revolutionized packaging, and everything looks really, really awesome these days. So this is where the Big Head was sitting right in there. It was wrapped up in some nice foam plastic kind of thing. What's going on here? Yeah, it was wrapped up in this guy. So yeah, packaging is really sleek. Guys did a good job. It looks, as you're opening it, it looks like you're getting a new iPhone. So that's cool. We got what's in here. This is the instruction manual, and okay, that's empty now. This little bag of tricks in here. I imagine this is where, I think this is where I got the cable. Yeah, so this is a TRS cable, a little 1/8" jack. I'm assuming this is for the auxiliary, to be able to plug in like an MP3 player, iPhone, or something like that. The other cable that was in here is the USB one, which is plugged into my wall because it was charging this thing up all morning. But that's pretty much it. 2 cables, because what we've got on here is, sorry, we were looking at the wrong screen. On the front, we've got 2 knobs stacked on the left and on the right. We've also got a headphone jack. Sorry, where's the camera? This way. So yeah, there's 2 knobs stacked, headphone jack, and then on this side, 2 1/4" cables, one for the bass and one to run line out to your amp or whatever. An auxiliary input, and this is what that 1/8" cable is for, to connect your phone or your MP3 player or whatever. On and off switch, and then a USB cable. And that's pretty much it. This thing is super light. I'm going to unplug it for the moment just so we can check it out, but super light. Thing doesn't weigh virtually anything at all. And pretty simple controls. Like I said, you plug your bass into one side,
Mhm.
and then you plug out of that into, I'm guessing, your amplifier, your DI, your preamp, or something like that.
Yeah.
Plug in your backing track, your headphone, anything you're going to play to, and then a couple of simple controls.
Yeah.
Seems about it. I mean, it's almost idiot-proof, like right off the bat.
That's the whole idea.
And the fact that there's no power cable for it. You can this was USB powered. You said there's a lithium-ion battery in here.
Yes, there's a lithium-ion battery.
Yeah.
in it.
So I could literally like put this in my back pocket technically and have the wires running out of it, or put it to
Yep.
my strap or something like that. So
Sure can.
it's kind of cool. Yeah. You're not tethered by any wires. Let's go over these controls, man. Like I said, there's stacked. Shit. Here's the camera. So there's stacked knobs here. As I'm looking down on it, from the left to the right, what are these doing?
You have input and gain.
So that's this one here, the bottom
Yeah.
left one.
Yeah, I believe that's input and gain. So
Okay.
you have your gain for your instrument signal, and then you have the sort of like the master volume.
Okay, hold on. We got a couple of questions. We'll come back to that.
Okay.
Chat saying, Adriano, hi there. My friend Jay, hey, from Brazil. Good to have you. Thank you so much. Is this thing for practice or also a DI recording? Okay, JC, it's
Both.
not a DI in the sense that there's an XLR output. It's an audio interface, so you don't need the DI. This will USB connect to your computer, and then you can record straight to your DAW using this. And I imagine the headphone out is where you would monitor, so your Pro Tools output would come through this as well, right, Mike?
Yes.
Yeah.
Pro Tools, GarageBand.
Yeah, whatever DAW
Cakewalk.
you're using.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's cool. So it's a again, it's not a DI technically because it's not taking XLR out
No.
to go into your interface. It is the interface. It's also the headphone amp. It's also the preamp, and it has 2-band EQ, right? So it's kind of like if you didn't have anything at all, right, and you wanted to get into recording, you want to be able to track your bass at home, you would need to buy, assuming you have the instrument already, you would need to buy an interface. And then if that interface doesn't have quarter-inch inputs, most of them do, then you would need a DI. And if you wanted to EQ on the way in, that DI would need to have a preamp on board, or you'd have to buy another preamp. So, Mike, I'm assuming what you're trying to do is just eliminate all of those extra things. If you're a bass player and you want to record bass only, or like just do simple one-track instruments, you just need this, and that'll do it all, right?
Not only bass, keyboards, electronic drums, any any analog to digital signal, really.
That would
I
take
mean,
a
you could-
mono send.
Yeah,
Yeah.
with a mono send, yeah. So not just bass guitar, of course.
Yeah,
It's
electric guitar.
anything.
Yeah, anything.
Anything. Really.
Adriano says, what about impose response? I'm not sure what you mean by
I don't-
impose.
I don't-
If you can elaborate, Adriano, we'll answer that question for you.
Yeah.
But anyways, let's get back to the features over here. So
Mhm.
the bottom knob, this is the gain. So you would set
Yeah.
that one to make sure it's not clipping. Is
Mhm.
this an actual preamp or is it more like attenuator? You know what I mean?
It's an actual preamp.
So it is actually. So if I drive this harder, does it get the
Yeah.
sound warmer? You know what I mean? Like, is it that type of preamp?
I believe so. And when you hear it, when I have done it using it as a preamp with an actual power source, you hear it like that. Not so much with the headphones when you're running it as a straight, headphone amp.
Gotcha. Okay. All right. Anyways, so then the knob on top of that one. So we got the gain down here. That'll be the first thing that we set. This one that's on top of it, the stack knob. What's this one do?
Yeah. That's the master.
For the headphone.
For the input. Oh, well, actually, it's the master for the whole overall.
Gotcha. So if I have an aux cable plugged in.
One volume for the actual instrument, one volume for the overall instrument and auxiliary.
Gotcha. So this is your master volume. So you set your bass gain with the bottom knob, and then with the top knob, if you've got your MP3 player plugged in, you're playing onto a track or something like that, you can adjust your overall headphone volume with this top knob here. Cool. So gain, volume, and then I'm gonna assume bass and treble.
Bass and treble.
The
on
bottom
other
one
side.
is a detense in the center.
Mhm.
I can feel that.
I think it's boost cut. They're both boost cut.
Yeah. But the bottom one snaps in the middle. It's got a center detent. So I'm assuming that's flat, and then we can boost the bass or cut the bass. And then the top knob, I'm not feeling it click in the center. It does have a dot. You guys probably can't see it.
It is. There is a dot there, though.
Yeah, so I can line it up in the middle, but the top one, it doesn't snap in the middle. So is there a reason why there's no center detent for the treble? Is it more like a tone knob?
Design, just the way he designed it. I mean, that's I don't have a reason off the top of my head of why it was designed.
It's kind of
like
like on a Stingray bass, right? Traditionally, there's no center detent. It's not like they're cut and boost. It's like, well, you just put them where they sound good. And don't worry about where normal or where nominal is. It doesn't really matter. You know, just play with it. You like the way it sounds? Okay, cool. Leave the knobs there. So the bottom one has a center detent, and the top end is just kind of willy-nilly, wherever you want to put it. Cool. So feature-wise, it's pretty straightforward. There's not a lot of not a lot to get in the way. Not a lot that could possibly go wrong. Other than, well, I'll say this. It definitely, off the top of my head, I can think of a lot of scenarios where this would be really, really beneficial. Number one is like as a practice amp. Okay, so I haven't really plugged in and played with it yet, but I'm just theorizing off the top of my head. This is for someone who, again, say you're a traveling musician, okay, and you're in the hotel room. A lot of amplifiers like this one has a headphone amp built into it, and you can use it for practice. But you got to go get your gear out of the car. It's packed all the way in the back. Like you're not going to, most of us don't keep our equipment in our backpacks or what we check into the room. So this right here fits in my back pocket. Check it out. Look. Looking at my butt, y'all. It actually fits. It fits in my pocket. So like this, you could take with you and have something to practice with in the hotel room. And then also the fact that it doubles as a recording interface. That's one less thing I need to bring out of the van, right? Leave the monitor board, whatever you've got with you. It's your headphone amp. It's a recording interface. Like it does the whole thing. And actually, let's talk about the recording because this goes up to a really high sample rate. Mike, how high does this thing go?
24. What 24-bit for the sampling rate on there?
24-bit, but I mean it can record 44, 48.
Up to I wrote it down here actually.
It goes really high.
Up to 96. Oh my God, here I got it.
Oh, we've got another question for you from Leo. Says, where can I buy it and what's the price point?
$359 is the price point. You can get it Sam Ash, Guitar Center, American Music Supply, Musicians Friends, Alto Music, Chicago Music Exchange.
So you can get them around. And to give you an idea, $350 for a recording interface that is wireless, powered. I mean, like if you look at, like you'll find some single and 2-channel interfaces in the $200 range already, but they are not going to be wireless. They're not going to be, well, they will be bus powered, but you'll need a laptop to run it as a headphone amp. And then again, you're not going to get a 2-band EQ built in. You know what I mean? So if you add up the price of a DI, a preamp, and a recording interface that's not wireless, it's not $350 or whatever you said it was. That's a really good price point. JC wants to know, can you plug the output of this thing into a speaker? I'm gonna guess no. It does have a line out. So
it does have a line out, but not enough power to power a speaker.
Yeah. You would maybe a powered speaker. Obviously.
Well, you could drive a powered speaker with it and use it as a straight up preamp.
Yeah, you could do that if the speaker has its own power. A lot of PA speakers do that. Monitor wedges, floor wedges, you'll see a lot of powered, but like bass amps, no, they usually are powered by the amplifier itself. Adriano also asks, sorry, he meant impulse response, is in cabinet simulation. I'm going to say there's no cabinet sims.
No cabinet simulation.
Yeah, it's
literally
not
like the I think there's some out there like the Sans amp that have that sort of like cabinet simulation. It doesn't do that at all. It's the direct signal of your bass, basically, is what you're getting.
Because that's the Phil Jones bass thing.
Well, that's our philosophy.
Yeah.
You know, we're not trying to simulate any amp simulation or speaker simulation. It's just bass.
Passing signal as clean as possible
as you can get it.
If you guys were here when I did a live stream with this guy, the BP, that was BP 800. That's what that thing is.
Sir.
Yeah. Go back and watch that live stream if you want to check it out. But very clean.
Super clean.
Yes, exactly. Hi-fi. It is passing signal and not touching it, not coloring it, not degrading it, not adding to it. Passing signal, and that's that's a great feature. Most boxes that you plug into you lose something each time, you know?
Exactly.
Not the Phil Jones way. Okay, JC, I got it. It outputs line level signal for recording. Well, that's the thing. For recording, you don't need the other thing. This is the record. Like you'll go USB into your computer,
Yeah.
and that's it. So you don't need to run line out into your interface. Now,
Yep.
let me say, today, that's exactly how we're using it. Because if I use this as a recording interface, I'll be the only one who can hear it. It doesn't have enough outputs to send it to the live stream so that you guys can hear it. So my bass, how we're going to use it today, my bass is going to go into the input, and then the line out is going to go into this guy over here, which is taking an XLR signal and actually running it into my interface. So everything that all the corners that this cuts, I'm not taking the benefit today. I can't in order to share it on the live stream. So the recording possibilities we're just not going to be able to explore. But again, it's just passing signal. What you're hearing, that's what this box is doing. Sorry, looking over at the chat. Yeah, it is. It's a cool idea. It's small. It's light. You can take it with you. And also, I didn't even think of this, dude. Mike, I was in the shower right before this live stream. That's where all my ideas come to me. I'm in the shower, nothing's happening. I can just think. And I was like, dude, I wish I had this at the NAMM show. Because here's what we do at NAMM, okay? For anyone who doesn't know, at the NAMM show, the way we usually do it is it's one or two people, and we're performing, kinda, for an audience. Not really. It's more of like a circus dance, monkey dance, and they don't even throw money at us. They just watch, like, oh, there's a lot of notes, and as soon as you stop playing, well, your crowd moves on. You have to start over. But most of what we're doing is we're playing to some sort of track. You know, it'll be me. I'll plug in my headphones, or like I'll plug into an amp. I got a laptop. I'm trying to run a rig, and it's difficult. I've got to bring 3 or 4 boxes and a bunch of cables, just so that I can play at a booth for virtually nobody. It's a silly thing we do at the NAMM show, but we love it anyways, and I'm gonna miss it this year for sure. All I would need is this.
Yeah,
This is all I would need.
It's funny you say that because in the past we used to loan out amps to other booths. Nowadays, with the last 2 NAMM shows, we were handing out Big Head Pros because it was just easier for people.
The predecessor for this, right?
Yes. Yeah.
So to give you an example, if I was playing at a NAMM show booth or just any kind of trade show or something where I'm not bringing a band, we're not allowed to because there are. If you don't know this, there are noise police. They walk around with VU meters and they go, "You're too loud." And if you tell you that, what is it, 3 times, Mike?
They give you a ticket.
They give you a ticket for like $5,000, 10,000. It's ridiculous.
It's a high amount.
Yeah,
and then sometimes they shut down your booth.
Yes, yeah. So you don't want to get shut down by the noise police at the NAMM show. So, anyways, the reason why I'm bringing all this up is if I was at the NAMM show this year, I would just bring this and a bass. That's not true. I just use whatever bass is at the booth. But I would plug my bass in. And then I would plug my headphones in and my phone. So now I can hear my track. I can play my bass and hear it. And I don't have to worry about setting the amp. Because that's the hard thing at the NAMM show. You have to set your amp so low that you can't even hear it. You'll be trying to play a song and you're like, I don't even know what I'm doing. I hear people walking louder than I'm playing. That's how quiet you have to play. So with this, I could have my headphones in. I could hear the track. I could hear my bass. I can do whatever I do. And then you guys can set the volume however loud you need it. And I don't have to worry at all about volume and whether I can hear. I've got my headphones, got my bass, I've got the track, and fits in my back pocket. I don't have 3 boxes and a bunch of cables to bring, which is what I usually have to do when I play those NAMM show booths. So all that to say that I didn't realize. I was like, man, okay, this is good for in the hotel room and this and that. And I was like, oh fuck, NAMM show. This would be perfect if there was a NAMM show this year. This is exactly what I would use, and it's wireless. I don't have to plug in the power. I can just turn it on and it comes with me. So
yeah,
that's brilliant, dude. Is there anything else we need to know about this from a technical standpoint?
Well, you asked about the sample playback rate. It is a high sample playback rate. I have it here. I'm sorry, I couldn't.
No,
I
it's
didn't
all
have
right.
my glasses with me. It was. Oh wait, I got my glasses. Found them. Okay.
And I'll explain
second.
what this means in a second. If you guys don't know what I mean about sample rate.
2.882 millihertz and a 5.644 millihertz is supported.
Okay, so sample rates.
Yeah.
Basically, let me put it this way. So digital recording is taking samples of everything that's happening. So it's kind of like this. You know those pictures where if you get really close, you don't really see anything, but then you back up and you're like, oh, it's Abraham Lincoln, because it's like a bunch of little pictures that make up a larger picture. Do you guys know what I'm talking about? Like when you were a kid, you would have all these books and you would, I don't see anything, and they're like, oh, it's a rocket ship. It's so cool. Anyways, so sample rate is taking a bunch of little pictures. At 44K, it's taking 44.1 thousand per second. And that's how many samples make up a 1 second sound. So the higher the sample rate, the more pictures are being taken, right? So 48,000 would be a higher resolution. There's more samples per second. 96K, 192, like these are big files that your hard drive, you need to have a lot of space because you're literally recording 4 times the information. But the idea is the higher the sample rate, the higher quality your recording is, because there's more information being taken per second, right? So the reason why I bring that up, hold on, I'm gonna go to the website because I want you guys to see this. Hold on. What's the website?
PJB World.
Yeah. All right, check this out, y'all. This is ridiculous. I'm gonna go to products.
If you go to support, you can bring up the whole manual there.
Oh, well, I just want to.
Okay.
I saw this here, and I want to show you where I found it. Because, hold on.
Yeah.
It's.
Oh, it did win Best in Show in Nashville.
Oh, nice. Okay. Here's what we're talking. So 24-bit, that is standard.
Yeah.
384K sample rate. Okay, now 44 is normal. I record at 48. I never go higher than 48,000. This is 384. This makes no sense. It is so much higher than the human threshold of hearing. The human ear technically can only go up to 44.1. Movies all record at 192. Most HD cameras are at 48. This one's going to 384. What the shit? Why are you guys going so high? The quality is ridiculous. That's a lot of samples. When I saw that, I was like, dude, that is super high fidelity. I mean, high quality interfaces don't even go that high. You know, 192 is as high as most of them go, like a Universal Audio Apollo or something like that. So you guys went way beyond. When I say this is a recording interface, understand the sample rate on this thing it's 4 times more than the average interface can go. Do you understand what I'm saying? The fidelity of this is so much higher than I have ever recorded in my life. So that's pretty cool. It's pretty cool that you guys did that. So I'm looking at the chat over here. Okay. Someone says I've already got one. Who was that? Someone said, Ugly Ass Mofo says, I own one and love it. You know what? That's the best thing that I love about the internet is when people join on these YouTube, Twitch, whatever the thing is, they have the coolest names. I always use my main name, just Jamie. You know, but I'll be like, when I'm talking to people on Twitch, I'm like, Ugly Ass Mofo. Oh, of course. Why couldn't I be Ugly Ass Mofo? That's great. Okay, cool. I'm curious. Hey, if you're still with us, what do you like about it? And is there anything I should try with the EQ? Because in a second, I'm going to plug in a bass and we're going to start playing some music and seeing what it actually sounds like. JC says the highest you've seen is 128. Record 5 songs of bass and get a 2 gig file. Yes, keep that in mind. The higher the sample rate, the larger your file size is going to be, and that's why I don't go above 48 because I don't need files that big. But yeah, technically you could have like a 3-minute song. It could be like almost a gigabyte maybe. If you're recording at the highest file size, that's pretty nuts. Conscious Evolution says some names here on YouTube are our channel names, but yeah, there are some cool ones too. That's true. Mike, is there anything else you want to say about this before I start making music with it?
No, I think we've covered a lot of stuff. I'd like you to plug in and let us know what you think.
Cool. Awesome. All right, Mike, I'm going to mute you over here, but you're going to stay on my screen. So if at any point you want to say something, start waving at me, flag me down, and I'll come get you. All right. Thanks, dude.
All right.
So let's make some noise with this thing. First of all, let's plug it in. Hold on. Hope you guys are having fun. Okay, we're going to turn it on. That's the power button right there. So green light, that means we're on. Bass is going to go into the input. And where's the other one? Hold on. Now again, this is right here going to the line out. It's going into this cabinet. I'm sorry, this amplifier over here. Yeah. The Phil Jones BP 800. However, the cabs aren't turned on, and I'm bypassing the EQ and the preamp. This is just passing signal. Again, this interface, I can't use it to record because it only has one headphone out. So in order for, like, I would be able to record in here with it. How would you guys be able to hear it? You wouldn't. So I have to daisy chain this into that amp so that I can go XLR out into my interface. And we're hitting as little gain as possible in every stage of the way. So all I'm trying to say is the sound you're hearing from this, that's the sound that it's getting. I'm not adding color with plugins or other boxes. Everything's just passing signal. That's all that's happening. And by the way, anything that you guys have, any questions about this box, about what I'm playing, about what I'm doing, please feel free, jump in, ask anything you want. You could use a red hat as Nick. You could use red hat as Nick. Don't know what you're talking about, but thanks, Ape Project. I appreciate that. Okay, so setting it up again. Bass into this one, going out into our recording interface. It's on. I don't need to use the aux in because I'm going to be playing the tracks from my computer, but if I needed to, I could plug them in there. And these are pretty much the only dials I'm going to be using. Bass, treble. We're going to leave this one alone. This isn't going to do anything because it's only affecting the headphone out, which we're not using. And then this one is just the gain. So it's going to actually be pretty easy to set up. Let's start with the P bass. This is a good place to go. And let's see, this was the knob we wanted. Yeah, so as I turn it down, the gain is low, and now as I turn it up, we're getting more signal. But we're clipping, so let's get it sounding decent. So it's not breaking. Okay, and the EQ is flat. I mean, the bass is flat, and again, the top one doesn't lock into place. But it's, you know, it's basically at the same center where the bass knob is. So this right here is essentially flat. That's what a precision bass is supposed to sound like to my ears. I'm going to turn off my mic so that you can really hear the top end without my fingers getting picked up by the microphone. I'm going to dig in a little bit so you can hear what it sounds like flat. Pretty decent. I mean, it's doing what it's supposed to do. It's not adding anything. It's not taking anything away. Let's start playing with this EQ over here, okay? So again, the bottom knob is the bass. Oh, I'm sorry. You guys aren't hearing the bass. Ah, dang it. Okay. I had it muted. My apologies. Okay, so yeah, hop on that chat. Let me know what I'm doing. I'm keeping an eye on it. So anytime, trust me, it's going to happen on this show. I am making this shit up as we go along. So yeah, anytime I'm screwing up like that, hit me on the chat. I'll get right back to you. Okay, so I'm going to do what I just did again. Everything's flat. Yeah, I haven't touched anything. This is what the sound of the P bass is. So again, sounds like what a precision bass is supposed to. There we go. We got bass happening. Conscious Evolution says the only audio interface I've used has been the Focusrite. Is this thing sound as good or better? Looks portable. So yeah, I mean, the Focusrite, probably the Scarlett is what you're thinking of. Presonus. I mean, there's a lot of interfaces that are around that $200 price point that will do one or two channels. Kind of, this is a single channel. Does it sound better than those? Here's the thing. It's hard. It's hard to make those kind of comparisons without having those units here. So honestly, yeah, I can't tell you the recording quality of this one compared to another interface. But I'll tell you, again, if you look at the features, those ones will not be wireless. You'll need a computer just to be able to hear them. And they also don't have onboard EQ. Yeah. And they're also not rechargeable. So it's not exactly an apples to apples comparison. But yeah, if I wanted to hear the audio quality difference between the two, I would have to have those ones here in the studio. Using the Scarlett too. Yeah. No, not your computer. Totally me. I'm a moron. All right, so let's go ahead and see what the EQ does. We'll start with the bass, because why not? This is boosting the low end. Definitely sounds like it's around 60. That's a bit too much bass. But yeah, we got tons of bottom end. Yeah, tons of usable low end in there. I'm going to back that off. Let's see what happens when we cut the bass. All the way down. Yeah. If I was going to use a pick, maybe I'd want to pull that down a little bit, because it does affect your output gain too. So if I really boost the bass, sorry, your speakers might buzz if I really dig in. All right, so now I have to back off my input gain, which actually I can't because this bass has hot pickups. All right, let's mess around with the top end. I'm going to take it all the way up. We're getting some hiss. That's what happens when you bring up the treble, but also I'm going to turn off my microphone so you don't hear my fingers attacking the string. Y'all, I'm not kidding. I'm really, really digging the top end on this. Especially these strings are a little bit on the dead side. I should probably change them. They've been on there for probably about a week, and it's doing a good job of bringing the life and the sustain back into my strings for sure. Putting it flat, or as you can see, okay, check this out. If you're wearing headphones now, you'll really hear this, but we're getting that top end hiss, and now it's gone. I barely touched it. It moved about 1 centimeter. So right around here, we're getting a lot of top end boost without the added hiss. So that's cool. It's very sensitive, is what I'm trying to point out. Here it is flat. Here it is all the way down. And actually, kind of, it's same thing. If I roll it down about maybe, I don't know, 60%, it's a little bit over half. To be honest, this is about where this is what I call flat. When if I leave the treble knob where it's at, or I just dip it a little bit. What meter am I playing in? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Oh, no, that was 13? I don't know. I don't count this shit. Anyways, yeah, so the EQ, totally usable. Very, very easy, very sensitive. And again, the difference between like over here, like 100% and maybe 80%, very noticeable. That I can't say that's the same for everything that I've used. Let's check out the chat and see if you guys have anything. And Mike, I'm going to bring you back in just in case you got anything for me. Mm-hmm. No such thing as too much bass. Yeah, yeah, we would agree with you, but recording engineers and audiences disagree apparently. Yeah. Understandable so far. Love the features. Yeah, seriously, man, great features for the small footprint and the price point. I'm very impressed so far. JC says, sounds great, just a bit too much gain on it. Yeah, when I dig in, because I was driving the preamp, and again, this is the these pickups are called Hot P by Aguilar. They're just a hotter output. So it's a passive bass with about the output level of a active. And to be honest, it's not this unit that's overdriving. It's probably, I would probably have to gain it down over on that side because I'm not seeing. Actually, Mike, can you answer this question for me? This green light here, will it turn red when I clip?
I don't believe so.
You don't think? Okay, because that's something that, like, if you want to know if you're clipping, besides hearing the distortion, there'll be an LED light will flash red and be like, the signal's too hot. Back it off a little bit.
No, not with that. It's a good idea. I'll definitely bring that up with Phil.
There you go. Yeah.
But,
Oh, just a question. Sounds great. Too much gain. Okay, could you plug this into the return of your amp's effects loop and use its power amp and speaker like a regular preamp? This is from Peter.
Yes.
Okay, so on this amp over here, if I were to go out of it, effects.
Well, with that amp over there, you would just take the line out, would bypass the preamp section.
Right. Yeah.
And you would be able to run that with a straight run the I'm forgetting the name of our own product. You run the Big Head Pro.
There you go. Yeah, that one.
Preamp with the amp as a straight up power amp.
Okay, so Peter, the answer is yes.
Yes.
Well, and then that's the other thing too is I keep forgetting, like, this could totally be used as, like, as you see it here on my pedal board. Like, this could technically just function as a pedal, a 2-band EQ that you run your in-ears into. Holy shit! Yeah, think about it, right? If you're running like, not like a full-blown in-ear system that costs, thousands of dollars, but you could theoretically do this. You could put this on your board at the end, just before your DI that's taking the XLR feed to the board, right? So you could have front of house, your sound guy, send you a board mix, but instead of going to your wedge, plug it into the aux. Yeah, plug it into the aux here, and then you could plug headphones in here, and you could actually monitor in-ears from your pedal board with a band mix.
Yeah.
You could totally do that. So it's not just, okay, so far I've been like, oh, this is great for, like, you're in the hotel room, you're on travel, and you just want to practice. You could actually use this to run your in-ear system from the floor. You wouldn't need a big wireless monitor console and all that stuff. Just take a board feed, drop it in there, and then you've got everyone else in your headphones and you. And you can you control the volume of the aux mix?
The aux mix with the master, you can.
Right. But then I would turn my bass down too. So like, if I was going to use it as in-ears, here's what I would want to do.
You wouldn't have a separate volume for the aux.
I would have to have front of house send me less signal.
Yes.
Okay. A little workaround. That would be that'd be a cool feature. If there was a way to control the aux signal from this box, then I really could use it as an in-ear system to do more me, less of everybody else, or whatever you want. You still can do it. It's just I would have to have front of house do it that way. It would be neat to have a knob to be able to do that myself. But here's the other thing too. When people are like, oh, why didn't it do that? Why don't you have the LED turn red? Like, do you want it to be 300 or however much it is? Because when you start adding more bells and whistles, now the price, you want a tuner on this thing too? What else?
Yeah.
It's going to cost more when you do that. So
exactly.
All right, cool. Matt's here watching from the very beginning. Hey, Matt, thanks, man. Good to have you here. And by the way, chat, if there's any questions you have about this box or anything else, please throw them my way. Or if there's something you want to hear me play, hey, you want to hear what it sounds like when you slap or play I don't know, something Jocko sounding, whatever. Throw it at me and I'll see what I can do. Mike, I'm just going to start playing some music. Is there anything else we got to go over with this thing?
No. Everything's great. Just keep going. Sounds great.
Let's do it. All right, we'll come back to you in a bit. Let's see what we should play here. I'm just going to pull up a couple of backing tracks. We'll start with this P-Bass since I've already got it up. And let's see what this is. I have no idea. I've got a random folder in my hard drive of just backing tracks, things I've played, things I've done in the past. So, all right, this one's kind of like a James Brown sounding thing. So that means a little bit of low end. Let's see if I can. I know you guys can't see what I'm doing, but I'm adjusting the bass knob. And I really want that boom and maybe a little bit that top end. Let's see. Yeah, I think that's going to do. JC says, the only thing I can think it's missing is a USB Type-C port instead of the good old micro. I think it is USB-C. No. Sorry, Mike, can you just confirm really quick what kind of, I'm unmuting you. Can you confirm what kind of USB connection is on this?
It's all I was told was the standard mini USB.
It's mini USB, not USB-C. Okay, JC, you're correct.
Yeah.
All right, just check.
Now, if I may add, there will be something in the future that's more Apple related that they're going to be doing. You got to forgive me, I'm not big with computers and that sort of thing, but yeah, there'll be sort of like an output that'll be suitable more for like a.
You mean like iOS devices, like Lightning connection?
That's the one.
Or whatever those are. Okay, cool.
Yes.
Interesting.
A Lightning connection.
I like it. All right, let's play along to a track. Let's see what we got here. Like I said, this one's kind of James Brown sounding, so I would have left the treble where it was. But again, because this bass, the strings aren't brand new, I'm using the treble knob to just brighten it up a little bit. But I mean, okay, the bass is maybe at. Oh shoot, it's upside down. Make sure you know what. Okay, right off the bat, that's one feature I wish it had. I wish the top was like marked more obvious, like maybe black on top or red. So when I look at it, because I was like, oh, I'm gonna grab the knobs. Nope, I got to flip it around and make sure. Because I'm a moron. I do those kinds of things. All right, let's make sure we're still good. Bass is only up about maybe 70%, and the treble about the same, actually. And this is what it sounds like. Let's see what that does against this groove. Why don't I hear it? Hold on. Ah, because I muted it. Oh, the places you'll go. All right, let's try this. Now, 1, 2, 3. Can you guys hear the track okay? Is it too loud or too quiet? Ah. Ah. Let's turn up the track a little bit more. Oh no, now it's restarting. Very cool, dude. Yeah, so easy to dial in a tone on this thing. Very simple. 2 knobs, set your gain, dial in the amount of low end, the amount of top end you want. Again, that's the other thing I'm impressed with. There's a lot of features on this, and they're all pretty straightforward. Now, you couldn't possibly go wrong. And also, I just want to make sure of this, Mike. The sound that I'm getting on this is being printed to tape, basically. In other words, the EQ, that's not like a software thing. It's when I use this as a recording interface, it's printing dry, but I can hear the bass and the EQ, right? It's printing the EQ to the track, right?
Yes.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Okay, cool. All right. You guys want me to play something different on a different bass? Chat, come on, get at me. What do you want me to do here?
Be a jazz bass.
J bass, okay. Active or passive? Y'all tell me. Get on the chat right now.
Passive.
Tell me.
Passive.
You're saying passive. I got 1 vote for passive J. Anyone want active? Peter, JC, Zach Clure. Hey, it's good to have you. Micro USB. Yes, that is correct. I'm just checking the chat to see if there's anything we missed. Mix is fine. Okay, good to know. Can you record a clip at 384 just to see how big the file will be? Yes, we can. You won't be able to hear it though. But yes, I can connect this. Okay, we got 2 votes for the passive J. I'm just going to go ahead and do it. Hold on. I'm going to mute this so you guys don't hear the pop. Okay. Just a second. Hold on. Let's go with this one. Woo! Oh, the places you'll go. Okay. Let's do something a little more aggressive. Now, this bass has a lot less of an output. So right off the bat, I'm going to gain it up a lot. Sorry, you guys can't hear it. Now you can. You know, and these are interesting strings as well. I'm going to say this really quick. The strings I'm using right now, these are half wound strings, or I believe GHS calls them tape wound. So they have
round wound, shaving down.
Yeah. They're a little bit less. Man, Peter, I wish I don't have an active PJ. One of these days. So these strings, they're not quite as mellow as a flat wound string. They have a bit more fundamental. More sustained, but then that mellow top end because they're not fully coiled. So I want to see if I can use this to get some top end into it because, again, it just doesn't really exist on these strings. So this is about as much. I'm trying to snap on the string. That's about as much as the string naturally has. I'm just going to crank this all the way. That's pretty good. And I'm just flat. J bass is just volume, tone. And it's helping me get the snap out of my strings that they just don't have on this bass, oddly enough. Not on this bass, on these strings. And I did that on accident. Actually, I was doing a recording session. I was live streaming a recording session, and I was I had to put strings on. So I was like, oh yeah, let's do that. We'll do the thing. Okay, cool. And then I start playing. I was like, ooh, these feel weird. They sound weird. Oh no. And it was a rock track. So I had to like crank the top end, and my attack is just like tripled just to try to get these to smack like stainless steel. I just wasn't paying attention. I totally put the wrong strings on. Happens all the time here. Okay, let's try something different. We got the J bass on. I'm gonna try a track that I don't know. Hold on. Let me see what song this is. I just pulled up a few in my queue. Oh, you know what? Hold on, give me a second. There we go. Now we got some low end happening. Okay. I'm gonna do more of a rear pickup kind of thing. But let me tune really quick. I'm gonna gain it up a little bit. Coming over here. Let's add some bottom end to it, because we are using the back pickup. Okay, this is just going to loop itself. I'm going to try it again. This is rear pickup, and I'm going to dial in a little bit more of that top end. should always warm up before doing a live stream. I'm impressed. It's really helping the jazz bass bridge pickup to come to life, especially with this low end. I'm really impressed with how much body this is able to give. I keep flipping it upside down, so check it out. This is where the bass is at right now. Bridge pickup. Okay, we have a lot less low end here, and I'm gonna center out the EQ so you can hear how much of a usable low end it's adding. That's what the bass is actually giving me. And I was able to bring it up to here. That's where it was. So in other words, if I flatten out the EQ, here's what the bass actually sounded like. This is, I'll play that same track, kind of. I'll try to play the same bass line. But here's the bass without the EQ in it. I mean, obviously it's still there, but the life is gone. Let's bring in that low end again, and the top. Woo! Yeah, dude, I'm digging it. That's so cool. So easy to dial in tones with this. Anyone else? Everyone's saying sweet, sounds good, active. Yeah, man. That's what I'm hearing. Someone mentioned the clarity, and that's really what I'm noticing with the Phil Jones bass stuff. This is my second exploration into what they do. The head over here in the cabinet was the first one I did, and that's what I'm gathering from it. Lots of clarity. It is passing the sound exactly the way you want it, and the adjustments that I'm making are very specific. Top end, but not harsh. Low end, body, but not muddy. You know what I mean? Which is not the same for everyone. I mean, Ampeg, for instance, dark, muddy, and the more you drive it, and the more low end, kind of the more muddy it sounds, which is the point. That's why you would use Ampeg. That's not what you would use this for. So yeah, hyper clarity. I'm really digging that. I don't know. You guys, I could jump over to a 5-string, maybe do something a little bit more modern. Mike's saying 5. He's voting for 5. Let's do it. Why not? Mike, everything going well over there?
Sounds great.
You think it sounds great? All right, I believe you. You wouldn't lie to me. Chat, how you guys doing? You guys having fun? And by the way, you can ask questions about anything at this point. We're just exploring this thing, but we pretty much put it through its paces. At this point, I'm just trying to see how many different sounds I can get. So any questions you guys have about this device or music in general, or what kind of coffee I'm drinking, or my new super awesome coffee mug. Oh, I can't flip it over because it still has coffee in it. My wife just got it for me. It's an It mug, and it says you'll float too. In case you can't tell, I'm a little bit into monsters and horror movies. It's kind of my thing. Ooh, eyeing that Jamiroquai file over there. No, it's not really Jamiroquai. Here, we'll play that one next. Let me let it play because I already forgot how it goes. It's something that sounds like something Jamiroquai would do, right? At least old Jamiroquai. All right, let's see what I can do. I'm gonna turn my bass back on. Okay, all right, I can definitely do something with that. So, let's come back over here. If that's the type of song this is, what would I do? First thing, I'm gonna get my gain where I want it. This bass also has a pretty quiet output, so I am all the way up over here. I'm gonna add a lot of body to it. Let's crank that low end, especially on that 5th string. And let's really jack up that attack too. So this is a pretty modern. need a word for this type of top end. It's like a sizzle. It's not a harsh, doesn't hurt my ears at all. I need your help, Mike. What are we going to call the Phil Jones bass top end? It needs a word. It's its own thing. I can't explain this. Because it's crispy. You know how the words we use to describe music, like it's crispy, it's sharp, but those are kind of like, sharp is like, ooh, that hurts. It's piercing. It's not a piercing
Cascading.
top end. You call this a cascading top end? It's a top end I never use. Like for most of the music I make, I roll that off.
Church.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. It's like a gospel top end.
It is.
JC says top end. Oh no, high res. Ooh, it's high fidelity top end, high resolution top end. Because it's not there all the time. It's just when you snap on the note. Yeah, I love it. Okay, let's try playing along to this jam with that. I think this was in B. I want some more low end already. All right. Let's go down low. Yeah, I'm digging it. Thumpy. Now let's dig in a little bit more. Actually, let's do this. That was my center pickup. I'm going to go more towards the bridge. Try the neck pickup. We need to gain that down a little bit because the neck is hotter. But yeah, let's take some of that bass out. Actually, I'm really digging that. I normally don't like the neck pickup on this bass. Yeah, I'm favoring the neck, the bridge pickup. There we go. Yeah, I'm impressed, dude. Where's my stop button? Yeah, very. The coolest thing, and again, I really can't like put this into words enough, but this is wireless. I mean, I know, yeah, look, there's wires to my bass, but what I mean is like it's not connected to a power source. It's being run off of a battery. That's where the EQ, that's where the gain, where the preamp is coming from. And again, I know it's pretty easy to overlook that as a feature, but that is huge for stage and again, for NAMM show and for, I don't know, anything else, maybe students practicing at home. There's a lot of scenarios where this is super helpful that you can put this in your back pocket, technically wirelessly, right? Like bass goes into this, and so if I have a short cable, it just needs to go to my back pocket. And then headphones, those are short. They just need to reach my back pocket. So literally, the sound you're hearing right now, you could have with you anywhere in the room. You don't need to be tethered to a power source, to an amp, to anything. That's again, a lot of these features exist already in amplifiers like this one over here, but you got to plug into the power source. You can't take it with you. I keep coming back to that. I can't overstate how incredible that is. Really, it seriously is. Low B is handling so well. Peter says, yeah, seriously, man. Got a lot of thump to it. You call that the Victor Wooten top end. Okay, we can go there too. But I liked, what did you say, Mike?
Cascading.
Cascading. I like that cascade. That's good. That's unique. Yeah, it's weird to have that low B so clear without all that mud in there. Usually the neck pickup and the bridge sound much better on that. Yeah, for sure. Okay, we got that. I don't know. Oh, we did this one over here. I'm just trying to look. Hey, you know, let's do, I'll play through an entire song. So far, I'm just playing through clips. This is actually one of my favorite recordings that I've been a part of. Her name's Kellyanne Keogh, and we did a record years ago, this called The Real Thing EP, and I played a couple of songs from it last time, so it's like a very gospel-y, Motown, old school rhythm and blues sound. Let's see what I can do on it with this one. I'm gonna thin or make my sound super thick. That's what I'm shooting for.
A little too sweet.
So let's see.
But that's okay. So I smile and kiss him.
Just trying to get my gain set on this.
'Cause that's what it takes to love a man.
All right. What key is this in? F? Yes. All right. I think this is it.
He brings me roses just
Went a little
'cause
bit
it's
more low end.
Tuesday. And then he goes and he works.
Can you guys hear everything okay?
late on my birthday. But I know he means well, and that's what it takes to love a man.
By the way, no compression, nothing else other than what you're hearing on this box.
Sometimes you win, sometimes you don't.
Man, I wish that camera wasn't freaking
I
out.
got a good man,
I'll have to fix it.
so I won't let him go. Let we may fight
I already forgot how the song goes.
over nothing. I let him win this time because he's worth it. Even if I'm right, that's what it takes to love a man.
I get super thick with it. Ah! What's this part go?
Love me.
Man, what a great song! Seriously, that's one of my favorite albums I've ever been a part of. Seriously, you guys got to check it out. I don't make any money on this, and so I'm just this record. I'm pulling it up on Spotify right now. Everyone, I'm gonna copy and paste this. Offline? What? I'm on the internet. I'm live streaming right now, I think. How am I offline? Okay. Anyways. Oh, here we go. Kellyanne Keough. That's how. Okay. I'm sharing this in the chat in just a second. This is one of the most incredible albums you will ever hear. Share the URL. Here you go, guys. You are welcome. Click on that link. Go check out that record. I'm not just saying that because I played on it, but it's super awesome. It's called The Real Thing by Kellyanne Keough. Honestly, one of the best recording sessions I've ever been a part of. And we would have toured. We would have done a lot of things with that record. But she got picked up by the Jonas Brothers right when that album came out. Her and actually my friend Tom too. So we did the record. We're getting ready to put a band together and go do the thing. And she disappeared for 3 years playing stadiums. So good on you, Kellyanne. But I wish your career did worse so that I could have played with you more. That's a terrible thing to say. But welcome to the world of professional music. Sorry, guys, I'm ignoring the chat. So let's come over here and see if you got any questions for me or for Mike. Okay. Nathan says, I have a PJB HA-1. It's a great little device. I've heard people say the headphone. I've had people say the headphones, the H850s, could be better though. Have you guys? Did you guys? Oh, those are Phil Jones headphones.
We make.
You guys make your own headphones. Nice. Yeah, I haven't checked them out. I'm using these. What are these? Sennheiser HD 280s. I don't know. I don't really pay attention to that stuff. Nathan also says your bass must be pretty hot to have overdriven the HA-2A. None of my basses are able to. Honestly, no. This is a really this is a passive bass. There is a preamp, but it's turned off. And this is a pretty quiet instrument. But I mean, I was on that last tune. I was cranking the low end on it. It was 100% on the low end. Thanks, Peter. That is a great song. Yeah. Cool album. Is there anything else you guys want to hear on this? Any other genres you want me to try? I could do can try out some country. Something a little more typical funky. I don't know. You guys let me know. I'll keep playing. I'll keep doing this if you want. That's how this whole thing works. I don't have anywhere to be today. That's not true. I do have a stream I have to get to later on. Mike, is there anything you need to let us know?
No, everything sounds great, man.
So far, so good. Excellent. How about this? I'll play one more song, and we'll get out of here. But I got to decide which bass. No, I know exactly which one. Hold on. Okay, this one here is the test. We're gonna see.
Ooh, Starfire Guild.
1966 Guild Starfire. This is one of my favorite basses on the planet. Looks like Gibson EB, or like an old 335, basically. Mm-hmm. The EB2 was the bass model version of it. But yeah, very cool instrument. Super old school sounding. These are flat wound strings. This bass has no life. Has no life to it, and that's what's so cool about it. But this isn't the original Hagstrom pickup. I got this bass for like $400 on a pawn shop, I think, and it was gutted. There was no pickup in it. Those old Hagstrom pickups are expensive and hard to find, so I put a Dark Star in here. I forget the guy, but he makes reissues for this bass. Now, that being said, it is the hottest pickup in the world. Like, I cannot plug this into an overdrive pedal because if I turn the gain all the way down, it's still the loudest overdrive humanly possible. So let's see. I'm going to turn the gain all the way down on this. I'm going to flatten out the EQ, and let's see if it's going to crunch. Here we go. You ready? The moment of truth. Turn the bass on. I'm going to play quietly. Okay, so if I dig in, I'm going to get it to drive on that low E. Again, that's not your guys' fault. That's this bass. It has a lot of output. So I'm going to do it from this end. Okay, this is worth noting. The driving that you were hearing, and actually, Nathan, this might be for you also, because you were saying you couldn't believe it was driving. I don't think this was overdriving at all. I think it's overdriving on my converters, on my interface. The distortion you're hearing when I drive the preamp on this is not coming from this device, because a second ago, when I dig in on this E, it's overdriving because I'm sending too much. And when again, this is the DI we're actually recording from. And I'm not seeing or hearing it anymore. So yeah, you were correct. My bass wasn't strong enough to cause this thing to distort. It actually, it was my recording interface that was doing that. So let's give myself a little bit headroom. Let's bounce this thing out and see what we can do with it. This is such a fun bass because it's a short scale. I think it's 31 or 30 inch. This isn't the original bridge either, so it might be a little different from what it's supposed to be. Tone knobs all the way up. Okay, hold on one second. Let's try this. I'm going to throw up a... I got to go into Pro Tools for this one. Hold on. I'm getting there. Wait for it. The song is this one. Okay, hold on. Checking to see if... Yes, it's coming through. Let's turn that click off. Unwarp it.
Clear blue skies, no economy.
Okay. All right, so this is kind of like a really Beatles-esque sounding track. That's why I'm grabbing the semi-hollow. And I'm going to add some bottom end to it. And I'm going to crank the top, too, to see if I can't... Yeah, I really want some low end on that sucker. There we go. Let's get rid of the distortion over here. Good luck getting a precision bass to ever sound like that. Yeah, that's cool. All right, here we go. I'm going to play along to a kind of a Beatles sounding track. And if you guys have any questions at all, as soon as this is done, I'll answer them. And that'll be it for today. Here we go. Let's see what this sounds like in context. Be good if I actually knew this song first. So I'm just checking the levels. Drive it a little bit harder. If I knew some Jefferson Airplane, I would, Nathan.
Here
such a cool sound, man. This thing's killing it even on this bass. And this bass is hard to work with. It's not easy with the semi-hollow, with the flats. This instrument just pretty much does what it wants to, and it does not care what you're trying to do with it. But I had a pretty easy time handling over here. Let's just take a look at the chat really quick. Nathan says, yeah, Jefferson Airplane, yeah. A bit ELO sounding, for sure, yeah. Sitting here thinking, I'd love to play as freely as you're doing right now. I need to put in more wood shedding. Well, Nathan, that song I have heard before. I actually tracked it years ago. And so that's what I do. When I work with artists, I get them to give me their music afterwards with no bass on it, so I can use it in lessons, live streams at thebassist.net and all that kind of stuff too. I am familiar with this music, but not too much. But as far as playing freely, yeah, I mean, I definitely don't feel like I'm playing freely right now. I feel like I'm still just getting warmed up. So yes, you're absolutely correct. I'm with you too. I wish I could play as freely as you think I am. But that just comes from warming up, confidence, and time on the instrument. So I'm right there with you. I'm not exempt from that in any way, shape, or form. Does Mike play bass too? Hey, Mike, tell us about your bass playing abilities now that we're on the subject.
I'm a bass player. Phil's a bass player. We're all bass players at
Is that a job
PJB.
requirement? Are you not allowed to work at PJB unless you're a bass player?
The guy who sweeps up the warehouse is a bass player as well.
All right, there you go. Everyone.
We're just all bass players. We love bass, and that's the thing. I'm fortunate enough that I can have a job like this where I could get to play bass and be around bass players and earn a living like this, because
Go
it was
figure,
just,
right?
Yeah, no. In my younger years, I was a bass player. I was out there playing the clubs and making money and supporting myself, and just I guess I get kind of tired of that life on the road kind of thing, and the clubs and the staying up late and that sort of thing. But I love playing.
Yeah.
It's
not an
so
option
it's one
anymore.
of the yeah, big time.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm fortunate. Yeah, I'm a bass player. Phil's a bass player. Yeah, we're bass lovers, and as well as bass
I like
players.
that. I like that. That's good.
Yeah.
Chris, sorry. Oh, first of all, Nathan, yes, no six strings allowed. Not that I don't like them. I just don't own any, so they're not here. Not yet.
I had one a while back, and
I did too. I had a six string.
It was a little hard to play after a while. And
my right hand never got used to it. The fretting hand, no problem. But like there were so many times where I would be thinking that I'm playing on the D string, but my hand was really on the A or the G or whatever it was. There's always one string away. And I never quite played it enough to get to the point where I could find it without looking at it, basically.
Yeah. Went through a big Anthony Jackson phase. In my younger years, and he lived around here for a while, so
nice.
I actually got to meet him a few times when I worked in a music store as a kid, and I actually got to play his bass a couple of times, and just got into it. I had to have one, so
nice.
I think I got a Federa back when you could actually buy one for like $2,500, and that was like a lot of money, because I think my first car was about $400.
The first time I saw a Federa in a shop, it was $3,000.
Yeah, well, I grew up in Brooklyn. I'm originally from Brooklyn, and I live out here in Jersey now. But growing up, it was just like, for us, $2,500 was like a fortune for an Anthony Jackson contrabass. But in the grand scheme of things, it really wasn't. But how the times change.
Yeah, right. Got some other questions on here. Chris says, what kind of strap is that on my bass? I use the same one. It's just a thick Planet Wave strap. All my basses, like 10 or 15 years ago, I bought 30 straps because I found one that I liked, and I was like, this is the one I want to have forever. So I still have some in a closet I haven't used, but all my basses have the same, and it's just a thick Planet Waves. I guess now it would be D'Addario. I don't even think Planet Waves exists anymore.
Planet Waves is D'Addario.
Yeah. Nathan says, it's amazing what you and Phil have created, Mike. Yeah, that's this seriously. I am impressed for the features, for the sound, and then also, again, the portability, the wirelessness of it, the fact that like I could do what I did just now with this thing in my back pocket and nothing else, just a bass cable connected to it, headphone jack connected to it, and technically like my phone, or MP3 player or front of house board mix. Like you could do things that would otherwise cost you $2,000 or $3,000 because you would never get a wireless in-ear recording DI preamp system for one person. Like you do that for the whole band. So that costs a lot of money because you have to do that 5 times over, right? So this is doing all of that. Oh, and a recording interface. And it's doing all of that for just one instrument, one person. And there's a lot of times where that's all you need. I don't need the whole band to be on click and all this stuff. I just want to because I'm not going to bring an amp, or I'm just flying in, or the bass amp sucks, or it broke, or any number of reasons, right? There's a lot of places where this would be killer. Stopped all those moments of getting told to turn down by family members. Exactly, yeah, especially today, all living in the same place. Patitucci does play very well on a 6-string. I'm not knocking the 6 strings at all. If I could do it, I would. I'll be the first to admit it. I'm just not good enough. Okay, so given that this is a first impression live stream, here's my take on it, okay? So what are my first impressions of this? Number 1, a lot of features, high quality, wireless. Again, yeah, you're plugging wires into it, but I mean, it's not tethered to the wall. It's not tethered to a power source. Recordability, like audio interface, and I can't stress this enough, the sample rate alone is so much higher than anything else that's in this price point or 10 times its price. Like if you were to buy a set of outboard converters, like the Apogee Symphony system or HDIOs from Avid or Antelope or any of that stuff, like I don't think they go that high in terms of the sample rate, and in terms of the price, $3,000, $4,000, $5,000, $6,000, keep going. Just for the converters, just for that sample rate ability. So impressive, very, very impressive with this thing. And price point, again, I mean, let's, Mike, I'm gonna unmute you again. How much did you say this thing cost?
$359.99.
Yeah, so for under $400 out the door, this does what you would need about $600 worth of equipment at least to pull off. And again, not at this quality either. Yeah, so my impression are I'm very impressed. I would not hesitate, especially if you're the type of person that like, I want to get into recording, but I don't know what to get. An interface and speakers and all the stuff. And you're like, there's a lot of things and I don't want to do that. Just the one thing. This is the one thing that you would need, and it would do all of whatever you need to track bass in a DAW or a guitar or a single instrument. You wouldn't be able to run a condenser mic into this. It doesn't supply phantom power, but you could get some adapters, I'm sure, and use dynamic mics. But this is really intended for bass, guitar, ukulele, mandolin, anything that you're going to plug in a mono input from. I guess technically keys also. JC says, is anyone going to use that insane sample rate though? Again, it's kind of, it's up to you. Yeah. I mean, again, in film, they record at much higher sample rates because they also record it much higher like resolution. They don't record at 4K. They record at like 16K or something, 8K at least. They've been doing that for decades, at least 10 years. I have a lot of friends in the film industry, so I'm probably making shit up. But that's what I hear. So yeah, the idea is always like record at the highest quality and then funnel down to whatever it's going to finally export at. So would I ever record that high? No. No, I never, ever, ever, ever would. But the fact that you can, okay, maybe you would want to, but I don't know who would want to. Not me. My only gripes with it, again, I said it 2 times where like I just sat it down and I grabbed it and I was like, oh, let's adjust the, oh shit, it's facing the wrong way. So when I'm looking at it, right, if you're looking at it this way, it looks the same no matter, okay, there's feet here and it says, yeah, you can see it's engraved there. It says the name. I'm a moron, so I would love it if the top looked different from the bottom in some way, but let's be honest, I could just throw a sticker on there or put an X on this side. No, so I mean, it's not the end of the world. It would be nice to have a clip LED if that's not already a feature, but again, we never drove this thing to the point where it did distort. Any distortion was happening on the recording side, on the converters over there, so it actually never even came up on this side. Sorry, I'm getting a hum and I'm just muting it. Only other thing, okay, this is just because I know I was saying you could use this like in your pedal board, right? If I put it down here, I could run a front of house feed to it. I can run my in-ears. and I could run it into my pedal board, and like this could be a thing. Basically, just a 2-band EQ that's also supplying my in-ear system. The only thing that I don't like about that is if you look at where it sits, the knobs are on the wrong place. Like if I'm mid-show, like, oh, I need to turn up the bass. Like over here, I can just turn up the bass. On this, I would have to grab it, flip it this way, which way? This way, then do it, and then set it back down. So the knobs are on the flat side. It doesn't sit upright like this. But again, that's not fully the intention of it to live on your pedal board. Mike's flagging me down. Yes, Mike, what's up?
I've actually seen people use these sort of like folded metal clamps, and it sits on top. They Velcro the Big Head Pro to it and put it on a straight mic stand, and they have it right in front of them when they're playing.
So it would be, I guess, like this on a boom.
Yeah.
Or it could even, yeah, you're right. There are, do I have one in here? Yeah, there's like little plates that you can clamp to a mic stand for
and that's
like
what people do, and they have it at an
headphones and
angle.
in-ears.
So they just, I know a lot of upright guys do that, and they keep it on a straight mic stand, and they do that, and they use the preamp section of the Big Head Pro and plug it into a powered cabinet.
Yeah,
and that's kind of their rig.
So again, if it, you guys gonna look at my butt again, but if it sits in my back pocket, right? Yeah. If it's sitting over here like this, the knobs they're right here, right? So they're in the correct place. If you put it on a mic stand or somehow mount it, fix it to something close by, yeah, the knobs are right there. The only thing is, like, if it's sitting on a pedal board, right, I have to know, I just have to remember, oh, bass is here, treble's here, and this is that. I can't pick it up and look at it to see where the dials are, again, because it's literally facing the wrong direction. And you probably wouldn't put it there anyways. I'm just saying.
Well, no, I was just saying there's a few pedal boards that are out there that have mounts that can be mounted forward like that.
Oh,
pedal
really?
Train,
Oh.
Pedal Train and Mono, I think both of them have a pedal board that has that option.
Peter says he's got one.
How many different options somebody would need that in a pedal board for, but it actually would come in handy if you were using the Big Head Pro. So you have the flat pedal board, like traditionally, and then the back of it kind of looks like a regular rack that faces up at you.
Gotcha.
And there's mounts in there like that where you can mount things forward like that. I've seen people put their wireless in there.
Like totally.
Rack mounted wireless.
Yeah. So basically, it would sit up like this kind of thing, or it'd be angled a little bit. So, anyways, yeah. I mean, I'm really impressed, especially at the price point, again, because it does get rid of a lot of things that you would have to purchase otherwise aftermarket. Nathan, okay, Peter says he's got one of those plates on the mic stand for the set list. Yeah, so yeah, you could totally put this on there. Nathan says, Jamie, have you tried the double 4? Is that something you guys make, or is that something? What is that?
That's double 4 is one of our combos. It's about yay big. It's about 70 watts, 2 4-inch drivers in it. It's pretty slamming. Yeah. It's one of our most popular combos.
I'm gonna take a look at it. Hold on. PJ. Yeah. All right, hold on. We're pulling it up over here. All right. Products. Nathan, no, I haven't. I'm sorry. Well, I find combos, bass combos.
Right there.
It's that white one.
It's actually the one that's on bass combos. The icon for bass combos. So it's right there, up, right there where it says
double 4. This one.
Yeah, right there.
Ooh, this one's in red. They come in different colors.
Red, white, and black. That's the only product we make that comes in red, black, or white.
Gotcha. Wow, that's cool. So this is a miniature practice amp. I'm guessing it's the same speakers as this. 2 5-inches.
They're 2 4-inch drivers.
Ooh,
it's pretty unique because you have 2 independent 35-watt digital power sources per speaker, and then you have a digital preamp with a microprocessor that ties them all together. It fires so lightning fast. It's unbelievable. The tracking on it, man. Even for the B string, it's pretty spot on.
Nathan says, yeah, shoebox size, solid as a rock. No, yeah, that looks that. You know what? I don't have much use for practice amps because most of the things I do, I'm live streaming or I'm recording, so just hearing the headphones is all I ever use. But yeah, this looks really, really awesome. I don't know how big is it? Is it truly a practice amp? So yeah, you wouldn't take it on a stage with you.
Well, you could for gigs where I know here in Jersey we have a lot of gigs for bass players where you back up an acoustic singer and there's no
Yeah,
drums, or maybe it's like a djembe kind of drum. And
singer-songwriter
for those
stuff,
type
yeah.
singer songwriter stuff, plenty of volume for that.
Huh,
If you're an upright guy, it's enough volume to do a gig with.
sure. Yep.
You're not going to play a rock gig with this, but like I said, for intimate settings, like with what's going on right now with people just playing on patios at restaurants right now, it's perfect.
Yeah, yeah, you're right. Yeah. Oh, and 70 watts RMS. It's so
Yeah,
cute. So
yeah,
adorable.
yeah.
I like it. So yeah, Nathan, the answer is no, I haven't. But that might change. We'll see. We shall see. Well,
Let us
dude,
know.
Mike, thanks so much for being here with us,
Thank
guys.
you so much for having me. I always have a great time on your show.
Hey, my pleasure. Nathan, sorry, you can place it against the wall. Passive radiator. Increase. Yeah, I guess you could.
Nathan is a fan.
Nathan knows what's up. He knows all the hacks. So anyone who's got questions about Phil Jones bass, just send Nathan a direct message. He knows all of his stuff. Mike, if people want to get in touch with you or Phil Jones bass, where are you guys most
Sure.
active?
You can get in touch with me personally. I'm Mike at philjonespuresound.com. You can email me anytime, or for more information about the products, you can go to pjbworld.com.
Are you guys pretty active on Instagram, Facebook, and that kind of stuff?
Yeah, we actually have a guy who does that. It's
There you
not
go.
me.
It's not you. All right, yeah.
Definitely
It's
not
not
me.
me either.
But we do have a guy, Instagram, Facebook. You can follow us there as well.
Very cool. Awesome. Awesome. All right. Well, hey, everyone, thank you so much for tuning in today. I really appreciate you. Just want to let you know, I'm going to be live streaming again today, later on at my Twitch channel. And I know a lot of you are like, what is Twitch? Isn't that for video games? No, I'm not playing video games on Twitch. I'm actually making music and like live improvised compositions and lots of lessons. And I stream typically like 4 or 5 hours at a time. So I'm doing that again today, but in a couple hours. So I just dropped a link in there. Everyone do this. Click on that, hit the follow button and that little bell icon, and you'll get notified when I go live in a couple hours. And we're going to do this again. We'll come in, we'll hang out, we'll do more Q&A, we'll play more music. It's going to be a really good time. Mike, thank you so much for being here, man. I really appreciate you. And I look forward to next time, man.
Thanks a lot. Have a good one.
Hey, you too. Take care, everybody. We'll see you in a couple hours.